Hey, we are live. All right, here for a impromptu Warlord or Arma 3 Warlords Redux Miller Edition stream. Um, so I did a couple things off camera, which was kind of the said I would never do kind of thing, but it was late last week and I just wanted to get some stuff done. Trying to see what I did here. Okay, so first thing I got to do is write some patch notes. So we reconfigured tech tree. To make unlock of naval items, weapons. ls I remember if Mark 45. Okay, reconfigured tech tree map / map to make unlock of naval weapons late game. Okay, cool. I want to test something out with the base spawning code. And we got to rename this file right here to a sector init. Okay, so I was messing around with this tolerance value off stream, just seeing what it does. So, to do is I want to find potential bases here. Okay, so first thing, trying to like finally fix this code like once and for all. So potential bases is getting all sectors and selecting can be base. It's building an array out of that. Then it's selecting, right? So the first base selects one of the sides to be the first base. Then it sets up that base, and then it selects a random from potential bases, which is right here, and that's any base that can be base. And then potential bases are potential base minus the base it just picked up right here. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so now we're initializing a tiers array, checked against array. Distance equals 0. Sector 2 checked next, and it's grabbing first base. Okay. Okay, so now what it's doing, it looks like it's looping through the array. What is it doing with distance? So since this is starting at 0, and then it's going through sectors to check, then it's adding on to the distance. So down here we've been messing around with tolerance. And I was considering changing this value right here to a -1. So instead of tightening every time it loops through this while loop loops, instead of decreasing the tolerance by increasing tolerance by 1, which is decreasing minimum base distance. So I think the play here may be to change this distance right here. Because messing with these values right here, potential bases, base distance minimum, and the tolerance, doesn't seem to be doing any good. Like, I ran through a whole bunch of potential base locations, like just clicking start, stop, start, stop. And yeah, I was still able to get 2 bases on one side of the map, which I really, really don't like. Okay, this part looks like it's actually setting up the bases, so okay, yeah, this is setting the value of the bases and all that. All right. I guess I really don't know what this distance is doing. It's the only place it's called is right here, current tier equals distance, and it's calling it as an array. That seems to be the only place it's called in the entire code. Yep. So I still think this tolerance is potentially the way to go. So we're gonna change this to tolerance -1. So in theory, this should start my minimum base distance at whatever I set minimum base distance to. Then should work its way up instead of down. So maybe this number will finally be correct. Let's go find out. Add this improvements. And if we get a whole bunch of bases which are right on the two corners of the map, default style, what I'll do is I'll lower the base minimum distance. Okay, so what we're looking for is base locations. Don't actually need to spawn in, just need to be able to see bases. Okay, assuming. Okay. I may have. So by having the minimum base distance too high and then subtracting one from it every time it attempts to find a base, it may have caused a infinite loop here. Because I think I had the minimum base distance set to pretty much the absolute maximum you can have on this map. Yeah, that's probably what just happened right there. So let's go through and fix minimum base distance. Since we're now iterating the other direction. So minimum base distance, we're going to set that to, I think, set that to 10. Hey, let's set those really high for now. It's 12. I think 12 keeps the Celicano and Molos away from each other. Because that was the case that I got the other day when I was checking base locations. I had Molos all the way up in the corner, then Celicano all the way down the bottom, which is the absolute maximum distance you can have and still be on one side of the map, but I don't want bases on one side of the map. Oh, we also need to fix the AI spawn tables. So I removed the HMG and GMG from the player's spawn table. Because people were just spamming them to capture sectors. And the game would literally... So I got on EU11 right as the game was starting. I mean, technically the game was ending, but... So I was there from literally the very start of the game to the end of the game, and the game lasted like barely over an hour. It's like, dude, this is not good. Okay, so yeah, that's what happened last time. It was stuck in an array and it couldn't find its way out. Okay, this is good. And here's the change I made to the map. In order to get to Nuketown, you have to go through Telos, which basically stops people from getting to Nuketown and getting all the naval weapons, unless they want to go through Telos. So, doesn't really change the flow of the map at all, but it stops people from getting to Nuketown. Super easy. Interesting. So if it can't find a base, and it just continues to iterate like that, it'll lock itself up. So I should be able to fix this by actually using the base distance maximum. What it's doing is just going to continually look for sectors that don't exist. And right now I have base distance maximum set to 99, I think. Yeah, base distance maximum set to -1. What we need to do here is set this to, I think, we'll initially try 20, but I don't think there are... On Altus, I do not think there's a potential to have 20 spaces between bases. I think 18 is the max. So we're going to do a test with 20, and if it locks up... Actually, just set it to 18. I know 18 is a safe value. At least I think 18 is a safe value. We may have to actually go through and count. Because I don't want to have an edge case where the game locks up looking for a base that doesn't exist. Or a base pair that doesn't exist. Whoa, cool. Okay, and let's try to figure out what would be the two farthest bases apart from each other. You know, it's got to be Molos, but I got to figure out what is the farthest possible way I can get away from Molos. So 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. You could still theoretically get a base, even with a 12 base spacing. You can still get a base on the same side of the map. There's 13 bases between there. There's 20 bases between Neri and Molos. We had 15 this time. Okay. So now we got so Molos to Niachori is roughly 12. Molos to Celicano Air Base is 12. And Molos to about Aberdeen Citra is around 12. So that'll give us kind of a baseline of where the bases should be. So I should see bases in this pairing. Okay, Korbelz. Oh, Sophia. Oh, this is a good one. Nadaso base. Troy one. $16, cool. Oh, I didn't know Kavala could be a base. What would be the shortest way? 1. Okay, that was 13. Okay, I've seen good variety here. Oh, Neri Georgian base. Okay, so what I think we can do here is we're gonna up both these values by 1. Actually, I'm gonna up the minimum base by 2 and the maximum base by 1. And let's see what happens. As we know 20 is 20 should be our absolute maximum. And if I get the minimal base to 13, that makes the Molo Celicano pairing impossible. Do I go 14? Worried about setting this too high because I don't really get to pick where the first base is. So let's do a test. We're going to set this to 17, which is way higher than we're going to leave it at, but we want to make sure we don't get stuck in a loop. We'll make sure we start at least 5 games. Just get a feel, because there should be very few base pairings. So we essentially should only get a Neri Molos style setup, or like Bombos Molian Molos style setup. Yep. So it attempted to initialize the map, and since the first base, there was no potential base pair at 17. Okay, so that's what we wanted to check for. So we know we need a lot of leeway on the downside to make sure wherever the potential base ends up at, that there's plenty of potential combos for it to match with. And I think 13 is about as high as we can probably safely send this. Because I've gotten rid of all the bases in the center of the map. Like around power plant and Telos area. As long as they're not there, they should definitely always have at least 12 to go to at least some corner of the map. Ooh. Okay, let's go. This is one. This was one base away, pretty much, from being as close as you could get to old school default. Okay, so if we had a minimum base distance, it would have been at 3, so 17. Okay, so that just gives us a good primer. Okay, so it attempted to look at the map, and the original base location, again, 13 was high enough that it was not able to find a base pair. It's like 12 is... Like 12 it is. In this one, we're going to need to... So we know 12 bases is only half the map. So I thought 13 would be good because these bases in the center. I think Neochori is our first, yeah, can be base. So Neochori is our farthest forward base. So let's assume this is a worst case scenario. We get a Neochori. So it's 10 to Kavala. About 9 to the backside of Pygros. So it's 8 to Bamos. And it's 10 to Molos. Interesting. That means if you get a Neochori base, if that is the randomly selected first base, that means the farthest base we could get Kavala's 10 and Molos is 10. Which, okay, that makes sense because we know the maximum distance between bases is 20. So it means I basically have to, I either need to get rid of more bases in the middle to prevent Neochori. I think the smart way to do this would just to be reduce the minimum base distance to 10. That way we know absolute worst case scenario we get Neary. And be honest, dude, like 5 seconds of math would have figured that out. Max base distance is 20, you get a base in the middle. I thought I'd kind of solved that by getting the bases in the middle, but turns out Neochori is smack dab in the middle of the map. Well, at least now we have an answer. We know there's no possible way this will break. I say that, it's going to instantly lock up. Bad news about this, though, you can still get bases on the same side of the map. Which sucks. Oh, looks like I need to tighten up the max base distance. I wonder what would have caused that. Because if we start at 10, it's iterating 10, 11, 12. No matter where it was on the map, it should have been able to find a base. I think I might remove Neochori. I might remove a couple more of the center towns just to avoid this from happening. Gonna actually just do that right now. I think I already removed the 3 horsemen over here. Yeah, can be base false. Copy that. And I'm pretty sure I've already done lock-in stuff. Yep. Did I do Neochori? I did do Neochori, okay. Alright, I went all out here. I like it. Okay, so I went all the way down to Alicampos and Kakalaka. Did I do Anthria? Yep. Right, so let's also do... Okay, already did that. Cool. Pi goes out. Just adding like one more outer layer here of... Kind of forgot how you're supposed to write that. I'm feeling that semicolon's in the wrong place. Let's go check. Nope, that is correct. Okay, cool. So now our minimum base distance, no matter what base it picks on the map, should be close to 10. 10-ish. Got 1, 2, 3, 5. 16. I'll tell you what, I want to see what happens if we go back to the old infinity base thing. Infinity max distance. Let's not do that. We already know what's going to happen. It's just going to continue. If it doesn't find a base pair, it's just going to continue looking. But I think if it hits the max base pair, it's going to get stuck forever too. Okay, that's good. It still doesn't like that. That's interesting. So we may have to just scrap the... Because this is the part of code right here I think that's messing up. So it's taking tiers. And tiers is based on distance. And it continues to iterate over this, looking for, it's checking for bases. And each time it's adding one. Then the potential bases it's taking from tiers and it's selecting. So it's looking at the first item in the array is greater than or equal to base distance minimum minus tolerance. And base distance max. So base distance max before was infinity. So maybe we have to go with that. Because otherwise I think it's going to continue to lock up when it can't find a base. This, we can jack that back up to like 12. Actually, set that to 13. The only problem is I know it's capable of doing bases less than this, which is kind of a bummer, but I actually did not plan on spending this much time on this. I wanted to work on crates and stuff, but I don't want to leave this half finished, not properly tested. Luckily, this is something that's super easy to test. Even though I don't completely understand what his goal was with the code the way he wrote it, but ooh, that's a good one. We'll run this through about 10 times to make sure we don't get yeah, it seems like having the max base distance at infinity is the way to go. I think this should be less than 13. Yeah, that's 12. So this I don't get why it does that, but that's okay. Kind of makes the whole concept of base distance minimum a little bit meaningless if the game will essentially bypass it. Although at this point we've blocked out so much of the middle of the map. I mean, we've blocked all this out down to here. Hydros, Dorita. It almost doesn't matter what the game picks. Gonna get really good base placement. Oh, that's a cool combo. Sophia and Town. That's another good one. Cavallo and Galleona. It's almost somewhat default. I think that was about the max distance pairing that we could have got. Cavallo and Galleona. Maybe Cavallo and Molos would be max, but overall this is pretty good so far. I think it's more the fact that it removed every possible bad base. Ooh, spicy. Yep. Still possible. This is kind of what we thought, and just eyeballing this is going to be 11 bases. Oh, that's 10. Yeah, so base distance doesn't mean anything. The only way I'll ever fix this case right here happening is if I just remove these bases, which I don't really want to do. Because if you remove all the basing locations from down here, basically nobody will ever come down here. Even though there's a cool aircraft carrier down here. All those, whoa. That's 11. That's actually closer than Ferris was. Huh. That's a first. That is. How would you even play this out? So what I would do, I would come back here and I would get this side to back cap. But back capping is worth a lot more in this game than is on U11. Back capping is kind of the key to winning the game. Say we're having about an 80% success rate here. I really don't think it's going to be possible to fix. That's another good one. Just because of the size of the map on this side of the map, I don't think it's going to be possible to fix that unless I like get rid of some zones, which I don't really want to do. Okay, we put that through its paces pretty well. Got mostly good. Some single sides. Okay, so it's fetch notes. Cool. Right, let's make sure I catch up. Okay, so next thing we need to do, we need to go to faction spawn tables, load faction classes. Okay, we need to get rid of so GMG, HMG. So in a sense, this is going to up the spawn rate of everything else, but some of our highest ones are the Prowler HMG and Prowler AT. I don't really mind the Prowler and the Quillen because they're not armored and literally anybody could just, with a rifle, can shoot the driver out or the gunner out. Because they essentially do the same thing as Ifrit HMG or Hunter HMG, but they just don't have armor, which is okay. Cool. And I've already done it for the player. Okay, that's done. Okay, next up, let's see here. I think we're working on the welcome script next. Okay, actually, when I was doing my testing, I was doing it on the dedicated server the other day. So I need to go. There's actually, let's fix the welcome screen. Okay, to do it. Push. Right. So we'll do welcome screen, then we're going to go into the map and we're going to is need to update this. Apparently this is the script that's causing stuff not to lock when it's on the server. And apparently this script doesn't actually do anything. So where did I stick the welcome screen? Common? Okay, I know it's, there it is, welcome. Okay, so we're gonna change this. I was actually keeping the fifth line there as a like secret backup because I knew eventually I was going to use it for something else. And we're going to toss in a feature list. I literally should just copy that entire line instead of mess with that. Okay, so we got everything here. Feature list. Okay, this we can test locally since it is exactly the same. As it would be on a server. But the next thing we're going to be doing some network optimization, so I'll have to put this over onto the dedicated server and do a quick test.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Sector selected.
There it goes. Oh, I need to update that. Okay. Cool. I think it works. So my goal, this line right here where it says unbalanced team, my goal long term is to turn that into a dashboard. But I don't spend that much time. So let's update that real super fast. Equals more passive CP for the team with less players. And long-term goal here is to turn this in bash. That long-term to turn this because it'd be pretty easy since I have this entire script here. I could run basically the same code that I'm using for the team balancing payout thing, and I just put the information right on this line right here. Real-time dashboard. Let's do a quick check, make sure we didn't forget any semicolons. Oh. Should load the mission first, huh? Wow, this is a really good start. Galleon and Kabbalah.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
I want to test something real quick. I should get a message that says press I to like open up your strategy
sector
menu or something.
Selected.
Okay, unbalanced team equals more passive CP for the team with less players. Okay, cool. I think because I already opened up my map Not gonna get that message. It's okay. Couldn't remember if it's opening your map or opening it. The I menu is what turned it off, but cool. Let's get up to GitHub. Right now, the fun part. So we're gonna go into the editor here. We're going to get rid of the networking on the objects that we have left on the map. So a month or two ago, I was pretty happy that I'd got the number of objects on the map down to an extremely low level. Like I dropped from like probably over 100 down to like 20 or 30 just by going through and optimizing stuff. But I think it's still causing a RPT file. I in the oh, it's like where did all the where did all the objects go? Freaking out there for a second. There we go. So you can do this local only thing. We're gonna do that. And luckily for us, we can, as long as we select the same type of object or not. We'll try it with these ones over here. So purple in the corner means, I completely forgot what that meant. Okay. Okay, why is... There we go, okay. I was wondering why shift clicking wasn't working. And this part, I can't actually select all of them because if I select the game logic stuff and then I try to like do a mass change of attributes, it'll give me a bunch of stuff that I'd... Yeah, see, we did something bad here. Yep. So what happened there is I think I accidentally selected the game logic. Why does it keep doing that? Okay, something very, very bad's going on here. So yeah, it was, for some reason it was selecting these. I have no idea why it does that on these fire bases. But I know if I don't see that enabled damage right there, that I selected the wrong thing. And something I really want to see, so this high terrain objects, on the wiki it says make this local only. Which, okay, I've already done. But I've never actually gone and looked on a dedicated server. Like if those trees are actually gone. Ah, see, I was able to do it on this one. This fire base. Don't got anything at Molos. Okay, now the fun part. I'm scared to mess with this submarine, man. That submarine's giving me so many problems. If I remember correctly, the reason I got rid of this originally is so I was trying to fix the... It was right here on this, the destroyer. Right here. So I was trying to fix... I originally had all these objects as local only to reduce network traffic. But on the dedicated server, I wasn't able to place defense objects on them, which made me think, okay, the server is not seeing this object. But I went through and made it not local only. Yeah, it still didn't work on the dedicated server, so I ended up parachuting in defense items instead of... Okay, cool. Double checking these. Okay, so they're all local. All right, we should be good. Yep, that's everything. So we're gonna save. We're gonna open it, host it locally real quick, just to make sure we don't get any errors. Then we'll push this to GitHub and get it onto the dedicated server real quick.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
So this is why I reconfigured the map. So if you go to Georgia's base, I think, and then you could jump over to Nuketown and then Freeney, you could get VLS stuff way too early.
Selected.
Like way too early. Let's fast travel real quick.
Select destination. Destination selected.
And I need to the 17th. Yes. Zooming in so you guys can see a little bit. Okay, this was the first zone spawning. And this must be another game. 33, yeah, that was another game. Okay, here's the initialization. There's a bunch of, this is all the non-network objects intentionally there. Okay, so let's get that up to GitHub. Alright, let's go update this. Got it. 1 second. I gotta download this to the dedicated server and all that stuff. Seven. And our version check is going to be at 22 players on the server. Check our missions. Yep, the correct mission. Let's go. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna log in. I gotta check our PT files. Go ahead, but pre-open these here. Yeah. Still waiting for it to boot up. There we go. Should be booted up. There it is. 22 players. All right. Look at that, 1151 kilobytes. Okay, so I'm gonna vote for a
Warlords
sector,
Protocol
then I'm gonna
initialized.
log in as an admin, because
Voting
that'll
for
give
the
me a
next
breakpoint,
sector.
so I can see in the logs, because it should show me logging in as an admin. The logs. Such a cool picture to start. This literally is my favorite zone to start in. Curious in front of you.
Select sector.
Double check. Yep, I fixed Kavala. Neri so I don't get smoked. So we gotta wait for Neri to go and populate.
Sector selected.
Cool. Did I get the welcome screen already? Nope. Okay. Is it correct? Okay, now I need to log in. Got how to log in Arma 3. I think it's login. Okay, logged in as admin. So I should be able to check the logs now, and it should say somebody just logged in as admin. Yep, there I am. Okay, and it looks like we did it. Sweet. I think we fixed it. Nice. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so some other stuff we need to do. We need to go spectator view. This is gonna be kind of painful. So it's left shift, left alt. Whoa. Okay. That was really fast. Okay, this is core factory. Straight should be up here. Yep, there's straight. So over those hills should be Aberdeen. Yep. And oh, airfield. It appears to worked. Forgot how you go down in. There we go. Okay, cool. It appears that the terrain thing worked. This side I didn't really move much terrain. I think there was a tree or something right here I moved. Yeah. So what I was worried about is you come over the ditch and there's used to be something here that you would swack. So the first tree you have to worry about is way over there. And same thing on this side. Get over the ditch and you got all power lines are actually your trouble T. Theory, it's possible to get over these power lines, but man, I do all my testing on no flap, just assuming like worst case. That's doesn't seem like it, but that's a pretty steep climb out when you're flying at minimum speed off the end there. It is doable though, theory. Okay, so if that works, we know, should we go over Silicano? Probably should. Let's go check the destroyer out. If I can find it. Really no landmarks on this part of the map though. Okay, that is... Okay, that's A-Town, so we need to go north. Okay, here's the coast. In the spit of land you can see the destroyer from, I think. Yep, there it is. It appears to be here. Cool, nothing's broken. Best I could tell. Okay, but one way to test this is going to be what we're going to do Do naughty admin things. Oh, I can't warp.
Select destination. Destination selected.
Can't walk either. I have no... Sweet, I can walk. Okay, so what we're going to do to make sure this stuff is working correctly, we're going to take Kavala, and then we're going to drive something up on top of the aircraft carrier, just to make sure the aircraft carrier is solid. That's my only concern about the local only, is maybe for some reason on a server it would not have physics or something. Okay, why is my P not working?
Sector seized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
There we go, got CP.
Sector selected.
Yeah, it's gonna take a second for Kavala to populate here.
Select destination.
I guess it doesn't. Kavala's much
Destination
smaller now.
selected.
There's way less people in it. Telos is the real killer. Telos makes everybody cry. Yeah, I literally didn't even lag my client out at all. I guess because all the work was being done on the server. Cat Kavala real quick. Then we'll head over to Kavala up here. Well, that's interesting. The CP thing kicked in. I have 38,016 CP, but I should have got plus 16. I gave myself 38,000. It's not how that's supposed to work. A team with less players is supposed to be getting a boost. Oh, it's because I fast traveled. Ah, it was 69, never mind. Yeah. So it was 3869 and then I fast traveled. Got it.
Sector seized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector. Select destination. Destination selected. Select sector. Sector selected.
And we're just going to fly up and land this on top of the carrier real quick. And I think we'll be done. If it doesn't fall through the carrier, then I know it's working correctly. Yeah, one of these days I definitely need to go through and fix that lock script. I think it's actually locking stuff in the wrong order, maybe? Not sure. Okay, solid. I have absolutely no idea why these things want to be solid on a server, but... Okay. Go check the logs real quick. Yeah, I can see where I spawned in the... Cool. I can see the vehicles that spawned in the last town, and I see where I logged in. So no errors other than just standard Arma stuff. Means note that. Let me shut the server down. Cool. Server's offline. Okay, check. Just checking off some stuff I'm about to do this year. Okay, next thing, what we're gonna try to do, I don't know if I'll be able to get this done today, but we want to go to requisitions. Okay, so somebody on the official Discord posted about the dupe from Arsenal, which is definitely a thing. It's been a thing forever. But I never really had a good idea how to fix it until today. Or, yeah, actually, literally, that's why I started to stream today. Because I wanted to see if I could fix it. So these boxes come pre-configured. And what we're going to do is look for a supply crate. And I have a hunch that I can write a script. So, wow, this is not the page I was looking for here. Oh, that Google search gave me the worst possible page. Okay, cool. So I'm going to use the independent boxes. So what I think I could do is I think I can have additional boxes. And what I would do is Everything's saved in here. Yep. So we are looking for... I forgot the script that we need. I think it's probably server side though. Process client request. Okay, yeah. I think this is a section of the code that we need. Okay, this is the vehicle part of the code. What we want is the player part of the code, which is right here, is man. So this is just a hunch, but I think right here in this part of the code, I can stick in a if statement. Just like here, config vehicle class, UAV, sender. So this is the part where I'm putting in the AI and the inside the vehicles. So I think I can actually do the same thing up here. But with crates. And what I would do is I would empty the crate out. And then I would stick the crate back in. And I would do it exactly how I'm doing it here. And so then what I would do is I would use these independent boxes because I need to have something different than what I'm currently having. How do I make this fair though? I don't know the capacity of these things. There's a couple different ways I could go about this. I could use wait, is okay. There are multiple different types of NATO boxes here. That's strange. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. So two ways I could do this. I could use the NATO boxes. Actually, let's just use the independent ones. Probably be the easiest way to do this. So what I want to do here, copy, sake of a test here, And then I'm going to call this custom box number 1. Fortunately, the players can't see this. They're going to see the config here. I don't think I can override the config file without a mod. And for our testing, we're going to let me easy identify this in the menu. Okay, so now what I think, if I add an if statement that has this item and sender equals west, I can dump all the items out of it. And then I can replace them with the items that I want. I need to get some IDs here. This request. Okay, so this is the part where it does the man, and then if it's not a man, but it's in that menu, I think it does this stuff. Need to make sure the item is spawned in, so down here it's detaching the okay, so we don't want it inside this if loop. This is so I think right here is going to be the spot. To paste in this. And I'm adding the side of the sender because I'm going to use these same assets for And here's where I want my code. So for right now, we're not going to do anything. I'm going to go into game and I'm going to drop this independent weapons box on myself. Make sure it has stuff in it. Then we're going to put a line in here to remove everything from it. If that works, what I'll do is I will build an array of new equipment to stick in there. Actually, I'll just test it out with one. Actually, yeah, I'm probably just going to do this with one because it's getting close to like go to sleep time. I got the Warlords 4 stream to do tonight as well. Okay, so I hope having that empty if-then statement doesn't break anything. Shouldn't. Should just be like an exit with.
Warlords Protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector. Select drop zone. Airdrop in progress. Sector selected.
Okay, cool. It has stuff. Wait. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a global clear all items on this. And it should be empty. To the what was the command? Got I put that. Okay, clear backpack global. Get you out of that rain. Okay, add backpack global. Yeah, see, clear. Backpack global. Just add items global. Add items. I'm confused. I literally just had this command up a while ago. Add item cargo global. Is so many different variants of this command. Okay, creates new items, stores them in a given container. Works with items, weapons, magazines, equipment, and glasses, but not backpacks. So first thing we need to do is completely clear the inventory. This code does not like it when you copy and paste. Like, no, bad, bad. Okay, so this should completely clear the Great. And we'll know if this block of code is working if a crate has nothing in it. After that, it's just a matter of building an array and then slotting all the new stuff in. Which I don't think I'll actually do tonight. What I'll do is I'll just get the array started, so I can come back and work on it later. Once I know it's working, it's okay. So I'll probably add 2 items to the weapon array and 1 item and 1 item to the backpack. Good map.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector. Select drop zone. Airdrop in progress. Sector selected.
Okay, no errors so far. It's pretty good. Pretty good. The array part should be pretty easy. That's unfortunate. That did not work. Oh, I know what didn't work. Derp. I didn't change the... Whoops. I did something stupid. So I found some example code, and I forgot to change a variable in it. So it removed a bunch of stuff from something called crate, but we're not using crate, we're using asset. Let's try that again.
Warlords Protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
Do-do-do-do-do. There they go.
Sector selected.
Oh yeah, basic weapons AF.
Select
It's like,
drop
where
zone.
did the...
Airdrop in progress.
Bingo, did it, boys. Nice. Okay, so now all I have to do is build an array of stuff to go inside of that. And this is... So this part's going to be really tedious, which is why I'm not going to do full loadouts today. I'll probably do that off stream, like, and just not write patch notes for it. But I'm more worried about like getting the system set up for other people to use. Okay, so we're gonna copy paste this. C. East. Save. Okay, go here. Okay, so now what I need to do is I'm going to this. Boom, boom. Gonna be assets. Some documentation. Right, so up top, I need to write some arrays real quick. Um, blue. Can I have underscores in SQF? I have no idea if I can have underscores inside variables. In SQF, it does not look like you can. Okay, no variables. We'll just type this out. Where is gear? Custom box. Do one. That. Save this. Okay, then up at the top, write our arrays. Custom equipment boxes. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna have private, and I really should have copy and pasted all this stuff from down at the bottom. It's line 230 something. Okay, we got items blue 1. Copy all this into a Discord message. Backpack blue 1. Okay, cool. I got all those variables saved, so let's go make a bunch of arrays real quick. Rivets. Right now, I'm just going to initialize all these arrays real quick. Okay. Set up correctly. Okay, I got all the arrays initialized. Boom. So now what we need to do is I need to, and I'm going to use a little some code template here. Okay, so this is my code template. And your final item in an array, never have a comma after it. You'll break everything. Okay, cool. So I got 2 of these, and now I just need to these to 1. So the second item in this array is the number of items. For the sake of this, we're just going to put a single item. And now we need to go grab some backpacks. This part is going to suck. Big time. Oh man, there's so many backpacks in this game. So what I have to do is I have to go through the entire like equipment list. And yeah. And manually copy in. Actually, it's not the one I want. And let's see here. Also gonna stick a little backpack in here in case people want it. No, actually, let's not do that. Let's keep this simple. Okay, so they should both spawn with a... Oh no. Okay, these are for both teams. I saw the B in front of this, but I remember B stands for backpack. Okay, so now I need weapons. Items, weapons, 4. Okay, so we will stick a Titan in here, just for the sake of testing. And we'll stick the Op4 version in here. Okay, rifles. What in the world do we want as far as rifles go? I just need some random gun. I found a Katiba. We'll give... Yeah. For testing, we're going to add the Katiba for the Op4. And I will add the MXM for the form. Okay, so we join Blue 4, we should see a MXM and a Titan launcher plus a carry-all backpack. And when we join Up 4 and Buy 1, we should see the Katiba, Titan, and another carry-all backpack. If I did this correctly. Which I have my doubts because I never do stuff right the first time. All right, cool. Let's try this out.
Warlords protocol initialized.
Did you see where Op4 base was?
Voting for the
Cool.
next sector.
Also
Select
base.
sector.
Okay, so if we're gonna get an error, we should get the error when we call this in.
Select drop zone.
Okay,
Airdrop
no
in
error.
progress. Sector selected.
Cool, worked. Let's go. Sweet. So now it's just a matter of building this crate up big enough with all our gear that we normally have. Okay, cool. Just we added system for creating custom crates. Add some dev notes to this. Um, oh, you know what we forgot to do? I forgot to do op4. Do that real quick. So what I'll have to do, I'll probably do most of it off camera. I'll just, since it's just gonna be a lot of like going through the wiki and copy and pasting. Oh, I picked the wrong side. Dirt, 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 dirt. Yeah, I'm definitely getting tired. It's bedtime.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector. Select drop zone. Airdrop in progress. Sector selected.
There we go. Katiba. Yep. And sweet. You've got the right colors. Nice. Okay. Okay, let's push that to GitHub. And since I'm using global commands, I am confident that's going to work on his server. So I'm basically already running the server code locally, or on my local server. Okay, let's push this to GitHub. Now the big part. Get to see if we can remove the arsenal without breaking the game, because I'm pretty sure the arsenal is kind of like pretty sure the arsenal is like way deep tied into this game. Okay, so we have a function here, which is order arsenal. So arsenal setup. Arsenal naval. That's false. Can it be that easy? Can it be that easy? Let's find out. So if I can't call the arsenal in, something I want to check, because I think it's tied to the arsenal, is the save.
Warlords
Ooh,
protocol
got a foggy start.
initialized. Voting for the next sector.
Nothing broke.
Select
Good.
sector.
Okay, so gear. Gone. Is gone. That was easy.
Sector selected.
Pretty sure arsenal was right there at the top. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna So we're going to call in.
Select drop zone. Airdrop in progress.
So I'm going to swap my gun and I'm going to put a backpack on so I have a different loadout. Then I'm going to save my loadout. I'm going to go die and then I'm going to try to load my loadout to make sure it's working correctly. So put that on my back and put this on. Yeah, I don't actually think I'm going to swap my gun out because I don't want to run around without a sight. Okay, so now I'm going to save my loadout. Loadout saved. Go die.
Select destination. Action cancelled. Select destination. Destination selected.
Oh, sweet. People were shooting at me. Oh, dude, right in junk. First shot. Sweet. Now we'll do load last loadout. It's been forever since I looked at that part of the code. And your saved loadout. Boom. Oh. Check your last loadout. Same thing. Okay, cool. It appears everything is working. Ooh. Okay. Cool. Pushed Arsenal out of 14th floor window. And I think that's going to be it for us today. That was our big goal. That ended up being a little bit easier than I thought, but the actual building of the arrays is going to take a lot of, it's just going to be copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and there's no reason to do that on stream. That's dumb. So I don't even need to make patch notes for that. That could just be, whenever I have a couple minutes, I'll keep the item array up and I'll keep VS Code up. Whenever I have a few minutes, I'll continually add stuff to the array until I get a whole loadout done. And I already, with the Warlords guide on Steam, those are gonna be the first couple loadouts I make. I'll use the pre-made, the Steam guide loadout for AT, AA, and then the diver as well. And I think I'll have to make a sniper one as well. I'll probably do that maybe with ghillie, because I know a lot of people like ghillie sniper. That's a motif that people enjoy. So that'll be the 4 I'll do, yeah, AT, AA, diver, and sniper, ghillie sniper. So, cool. Tonight I will be working on Warlords 4. And if we get the spawning systems working, I plan on, probably not on camera, but I'll do it off camera. I'll push Warlords 4 to GitHub so people can start following along on GitHub as I make more progress on that. So cool. I will see you guys in about 8-ish hours, 7 or 8 hours. And I'll be working on Warlords 4. Yeah, Warlords Palooza.